Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And you know I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And make sure you join the Patrons. If you're not a part of the Patrons, make sure you're hitting the Cash App. And guys, boy, do we have a lot of entertainment going on. It is heating up. The drums are getting louder. But I told you guys, do not be scared of this dump. Guys, we pump and dump. CME opens, we move right on up. And a few of the altcoins got a good pump. But like I stated, this week is going to be a roller coaster ride. We know we have the halving, but we know all around news all this week is going to be about the drums are beating. Now, we know Israel did the drums are beating first. And of course, the media is not going to go into that. We know why. You know, I can't touch bases on that. I'll do a Patreon video on that. But if you have my NWO book, you understand all this is going on. But don't forget, guys, this is all a distraction for the fourth industrial revolution. They want the robots, algorithms, and drones to take the economy over, pay each other with crypto, and the sheep go inside the metaverse. Remember, all this debt was created through money printing. 80% of all money in existence was printed in like 2 years. Guys, what do you think that's going to happen? Inflation. And that's exactly what we got. And then, of course, it allowed the Fed to raise rates to fight the inflation that they caused. And they're keeping these rates higher for longer to destroy this economy. So therefore, they can bring on the digital economy. And we had Bitcoin mining on CBS, where the old people watch. They get to watch. Doesn't matter, guys, what type of news it is, good news, bad news. The fact is they're hearing about Bitcoin mining. This is the way you condition people without teaching people. Now the older generation is going to hear about Bitcoin, Bitcoin mining, crypto assets, and eventually will start using, but never ever understand the technology. And we know that's exactly what the NWO wants. And we have Trump saying again, if I was in office, this would have never happened. And guys, we know this is going to set up to be one of the greatest elections that we ever had. And then also, once we know we get that election, the curtain will start to get pulled down. The sheet will be brought to reality. And over the next 3 to 5 years, we know the machine takeover is about to happen. And we know the sheep are going to beg the government. And we know they already have that solution. That programmable money, that universal basic income airdrop to their wallets, telling them what, when, and how to buy. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows. When it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Third straight month, inflation has been higher than expected, suggesting that the Federal Reserve will find it difficult to lower interest rates, which could slow down the economy. And that endangers President Biden's re-election prospects. Economists are unsure as to why inflation has persisted. Some of it is surely a persistent hangover from the pandemic, but some of it could well be that a feature of recent economic policy of both the Trump and Biden administrations has been to ask consumers to pay more for goods and services. Both administrations goosed the economy with large pandemic relief packages, which without question added to inflationary pressures. But beyond those bills, which have by now probably worked their way through the system,
riches used to involve a shovel and a pick, but times change. David Pogue digs into the controversial high-tech world of Bitcoin mining.
7 years ago, Gladys Anderson bought her dream home in Bono, Arkansas.
We moved out here to get away from the busyness of town, the noise, just peace and quiet, country living.
But last May, the quiet ended when this noise began.
It was like torture, like a form of military-grade torture.
It's the sound of 17,000 computer fans in a Bitcoin facility next door.
The people of Israel, they're under attack right now. That's because we show great weakness. This would not happen. The weakness that we've shown is unbelievable, and it would not have happened if we were in office.
What are your thoughts on that?
I just think Trump is delusional on this point. It's a point that nobody can refute or confirm one way or the other. He doesn't have any idea what to do in the Middle East in this situation. Remember when he threatened fire and fury against North Korea? Within a year, he had fallen in love with Kim Jong-un. So he's not qualified to be president. I think people often ask me, well, if you don't think Trump is qualified to be president, why not vote for Biden? Look at Biden's actions in the past 24 hours, trying to persuade Israel not to respond. This is a measure of two candidates, neither one of whom is qualified, at a point of enormous threat, not just to Israel's national security. Let's be clear, what's happening in the Middle East is a threat to American national security, and we should be standing at Israel's side to deal with the threat of Iran.
Understand that what we're seeing unraveling in front of our eyes is a reality that has been there for at least a decade or 2 decades, meaning an empire of evil headed from Tehran, which has an objective to radicalize, derail any peace processes, overthrow regimes, bring havoc and terror throughout the Middle East, of course, eliminate Israel with a jihadist philosophy with proxies, but also hold terror cells all over the world. Now, this empire of evil has shown what it wants to achieve.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go, but clearly we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting at more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told his members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will. During that auction that we saw a little bit before, the attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy. And you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence. And
very much a traditionalist. I like staying with the dollar. You know that from when I was there. It's make the dollar the choice. I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar. And
Cryptoteacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books, is time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get on stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Drama Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Drama Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Drama Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.